Last week, I put out a survey asking what is one thing that keeps you from creating or drawing consistently? And exhaustion won. Not time or knowing what to draw, but being tired. And I resonate with this a lot, and the drawing in this video shows exactly why. Just this past Thursday, I sat down to draw, and I was completely exhausted. I'd planned to spend most drawing sessions this week working on fundamentals, like perspective, basic shapes, or figure drawing, things that, from what I understand, can really impact the quality of all of my drawing overall. But instead of fundamentals, I drew a cigarette as James Dean. And I'm going to explain why exhaustion made this my choice. And if you don't know who James Dean is, if you just Google him, he's commonly in this pose that you see my little cigarette guy in. Anyway, he's like a 50s era actor. I have no idea why I thought about drawing him. But here's what regularly happens. I've been through my whole work day. We've been through our dinner routine, bedtime routines, cleanup, whatever we had going on that night. Our kids are finally in bed and it is late. Usually we're talking like 11:30 by the time all that stuff has happened and I have a chance to draw. And like a normal person in that situation, my brain is like mush. But this is the opportunity I get. This is my time. And this is when I'm supposed to work on taking art seriously. And so I sit down to draw. And a lot of the time, honestly, I'm so tired that I forget that I had a plan at all to work on fundamentals. And at that point, the work of remembering the plan I had and working on something challenging can feel like, okay, I do not have the energy for that. That requires a focus, it feels like I cannot have at that hour. So instead of doing something that feels hard, which could just be remembering what my plan at the beginning of the week was anyway, I just do what seems easy and whatever comes to mind. Whatever seems like it would be fun at the moment, like James Dean as a cigarette. I've been trying to go by a 70-30 rule strategy. A couple weeks ago, I was talking to an artist friend of mine who recommended that I spend 70% of my time working on fundamentals and reserve the rest of the 30% for other stuff that I want to work on. And I really appreciated this. The idea, again, being if you focus on the fundamentals, it simplifies all the other stuff moving forward. And the idea is supposed to be that 5 days a week I work on fundamentals and the other days I just work on whatever I want to, whether that's just something fun or whether that's like a commission I'm trying to work on, whatever it is. I've even mapped out on a calendar on these days of the week I'm doing fundamentals and on these other days I'm doing other things in order to keep it as simple and straightforward as possible, and so that when I sit down I'm ready to go and I don't have to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. But something that becomes very clear very quickly is that it's not just a matter of being organized and ready to go. It also is a matter of having enough energy when it's time to do the work. And to be really clear, I think there's a lot of value in drawing things that are just for fun. But I just know that there's value in learning the fundamentals and developing the fundamentals. And so I'm personally just trying to prioritize them in my drawing schedule. And the tough thing is that I think being tired can make the time that you do have feel fruitless, because you're like, okay, now I have this time to finally do this thing that I really love and to really get better at it, but I'm exhausted. So I'm like, I'll just draw something that's easy and familiar. And while that can be great and it's way better than not drawing, it's not pushing me, right? And the busy schedule and the other commitments are what makes it exhausting. My job, family life, other life stuff, but it's being tired that actually stops me from, making this time meaningful. And while we're here, if you can relate to any of this, please remember to like and subscribe. As I'm working to learn illustration, I'm constantly trying to work through things like this and try and put out content as often as I can about it. Back to drawing and being exhausted. I clearly don't have all this figured out at this point. I try and do all kinds of things to help me not draw when I'm exhausted. Probably the main one is trying to draw in the mornings, but that can be really hit or miss for me. For this drawing, for better or worse, I just continued to draw this guy over the next 4 days and didn't finish it until today. And in the end, I did like getting to practice this like dramatic lighting thing that's going on and trying to create the coals on the top of the cigarette and stuff like there. So there's elements that I think were really helpful for me to work on. So it's certainly not all for naught. But if you have struggled with exhaustion being your biggest creative block, or if you're just drawing on fumes after an exhausted day, I'd love to hear in the comments like what you're dealing with, and I'd love to know what things have helped you when you're tired to either keep going or to pivot, anything that's helped you. And if you're interested in me drawing something for you, I would love to. Please check out my store, linked in the description. And if you're interested in tips on being a busy person who's trying to learn illustration, please click on the video on the screen. Thanks for watching.